What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Inspiration series. We're starting things off today with the, Hydra Armored Personnel Skimmer? Something to that effect. I think there's a lot more acronym abbreviations in there somewhere. But, yeah, so basically, this is a small type of ship. It's kind of like a tank ship thing. Or armored personnel skimmer, you know, something like that. And by the way, that's Skimmer, in case I wasn't clear, because I thought to myself there for a second, that could have come across as armored personnel skinner, and that seems very, well, that went dark pretty quick. So, just wanted to clarify that. But mainly, I love the design. A lot of these smaller builds that are either for planets or, you know, just small fighters, they don't have a ton of interior to explore like a big ship. But overall, I just really like the design of this. It's very imposing, but it's very sleek and cool looking. So for a planetary hover/ground vehicle, it's not really a hover vehicle, but this tire trick that I've seen is a really, really cool way of doing things. I still don't know quite how it works, but I've seen it used in a lot of builds. I'm going to crouch down a little bit so we can get a better view. So we've got, I think that's cargo containers, and we've got the batteries, conveyors, small reactors, and then the conveyor system goes up here to the weapons, and then we've got our main passenger seats that are used for control. We've got a couple seats for carrying personnel, hence the name. How do I retract them from the inside? Here we go. So we got these cool little doors we're gonna place down. Okay. Now, I don't think it matters which seat you use. I could be wrong, but I believe if I read the description correctly, which, who knows, I believe that it doesn't really matter. And I like this too, that they didn't put, they put enough of an opening where you can actually kind of fly it, or drive it manually. So, let's see. Go into control. We hit control. Okay, so now we have our, well, controls. I don't think there's any kind of like turret type system. These are turrets, but it's not one of those where like a tank where it has its own independent turret system. So that's kind of a good thing for me, because whenever there's turrets involved, I tend to break them. So it's all good on my end. We got rocket launchers here, and so you can switch between rockets and Gatling guns. Cameras, thrusters for reverse. I'm not entirely sure how all some of this works. Rotors for the left and right door. This is increasing and decreasing friction on the wheels underneath the ship. And supposedly, what I guess that's for is it helps slow you down, I guess. Though it does state that you shouldn't actually be moving and operating with the ship with anything but zero friction. So I'm not sure if that means like when you're going, then if you let off all of the thrusters and stuff, then you turn on friction to slow yourself down, or how that's actually supposed to be used ideally. So there's that. But yeah, we've got rocket launchers here, which seem to be pretty effective. They're the four-barrel reloadable kind, though I'm a little curious about the whole reloadables thing, since it doesn't seem like there's any conveyors or anything connected to them to reload them, so that's kind of interesting. And then obviously we've got these 4 Gatling guns in the front, which are very powerful. And then you've got the missile and Gatling turrets up on top as well. So let's go ahead and start driving around. Now this is a cool system in case anybody hasn't seen this before. It basically utilizes wheels in a really weird way that kind of makes it's almost like a hover vehicle at this point, where you're using atmospheric thrusters, but you have no vertical lift. I don't think. No. If you hit spacebar, nothing happens. So you have no vertical lift. but you're not really using tires and wheels to drive the ship. They're more of a barrier to protect the ship from bouncing along the ground. So that's why I mentioned it being a hover vehicle. It's not really a hover vehicle, but it kind of is the Space Engineer's equivalent of a hover vehicle. And overall, it really performs really well. Like, we are going fast. This is a fast ground vehicle. At some point, I actually have to look up and figure out how the heck they do this, because I don't know how to build a ship this way, but I've seen it done, so that's how I recognize what it was for. But I love it. It's so cool. You even can kind of drift if you turn sharp enough, and you'll kind of slide along the ground. It's so cool. They're so much fun to drive. I love them. And you got the Gatling gun. So this would actually be a fun... Whoop, tree. Oh, no, I was going to say I'd pulled some drifting stuff, but no, I managed to nick it. Never mind. So, yeah, overall, I really like how this drives and stuff. It works really well. I'm going to drift around that plant. Actually, it would be really cool to see, I mean, just nudge, nudge, you know, hint, hint here for all you builders out there that watch this series. It would be really cool to see vehicles that are built this way in the hovercraft mentality, and then put like a drift course kind of thing. That would be kind of cool, and then you could kind of like drift through the whole thing. I think it'd be fun. Now for friction, I'm going to try this out. Up until now I've done everything by the book, but I'm going to test this out. So I'm thinking if I get going and then let off and then turn friction on, it'll start slowing the ship down, I think. And then it stops. So I guess the idea is you don't want to be pushing the WASD keys. Like, you don't want to be putting out thrust while it's basically fighting against the friction. But once you get going fast enough, then you can kind of turn it on and just kind of slow yourself down, and it's almost like putting on the brake. So that's pretty cool. I really like how that ship moves. It's one of the best ground vehicles I've piloted in a while in terms of stability. So that's going to do it for this one. Let's move on to the next one. Alrighty, so next up we have the UMA Glamoril Specialist Medical Ship. Gosh, I'm probably not getting that right at all. I have to make one little note in here. This is a blueprint build that I included what mods I noticed were in there, but it did not specify every single mod. And when I went to paste it in, it actually did give me the warning of there are some things in the blueprint that aren't in your world settings, so they won't be pasted and could cause problems, blah, 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 blah. So I've checked the screenshots and everything looks pretty well there. I don't see anything glaringly missing or anything like that. But just keep in mind, if you're following the link in the description and trying to paste this in yourself, that until it's updated by the developer or whatever, or by the builder, to include all of the mods that are available, there may be something that's not working, but I don't know exactly what. And kind of the same thing with actually this showcase of going through and looking through the build. If we see something that's just really wonky or broken or something, it's probably because it's missing something that it needed, but because it wasn't specified and there was no world download, I don't really know what else to do with it. But it was too cool of a design for me to pass up. Like, this is very, very unique and very different, and I loved it. Too much to just ignore, just because there may or may not be anything there. So I was like, well, we gotta try it and we'll see what happens. So I love this design, though. It's very unique in that you've got this cool little arch, this crescent-shaped thing, and then there's these orbs that hold all the different pods, basically. So it's a really, really cool system, and I'm guessing this is the bridge? This looks like the bridge, yeah. So, and then there's a couple hangars, there's an entryway, it looks like there. So overall, it was just very different. And then you got the landing pad things down here, landing gears, and a couple of, I'm guessing this is all of your flight control, like gyroscopes and probably hydrogen tanks? No, not enough room. I don't know where they put their hydrogen tanks, but I don't think it's there. Well, it could be. Anyways, you know, this is where most of your thrust is going to come from, though, so that's kind of the engine block, if you will. What is over here, and can we do anything with it? I don't think so. Oh, this is going to be thrusters and spotlights. No, no spotlights, just thrusters. Okay. And conveyors that lead to more thrusters, and so on. But yeah, I really like the shape and design of the ship. It was just something where I saw the screenshots and was just like, huh? What is this? This looks cool. You know. So figured we'd try it out. Let's go back here through this area. And I'm gonna break my cardinal rule. Well, no, it's not really my cardinal rule, it's more of the space cardinal rule, and that's just open airlocks willy-nilly. And ignore all the proper procedures. This is gonna be the entryway that we saw earlier up on the little platform there. And I'm guessing we're gonna go down, and then that's gonna go to the other side. Oh, there's an up, though. That's going to lead to the bridge, I'm guessing. Yep. And y'all know how much I love glass walkways, so this is cool. I love that you can see where you're going. It's so awesome. Oh, and there's under section, too. Yeah, so this is a pretty cool setup for a med bay. They even have, like, the overhead, I don't know, futuristic medical scanners is what I'm going to go with for an answer there. Using the small rotor head trick. This was another one. These are the civilian beds from Ecto Sage, I believe, and they were not listed. The only mod that was listed was Armor Ramps by Uncle ST. I never know if it's Uncle Stay or Stee or whatever. I'm not sure what this is for. It could be a secondary bridge. Oh, there's a hydrogen tank. It's staring me right in the face. Oop. Are we moving? Why are we moving? That was interesting. I moved the ship, but it's stabilized now. I don't know why the interior is still moving. That's weird. Okay, so here's oxygen generators, oxygen tanks, and vents and stuff. So that's probably not really designed to be a flight seat. That's probably designed to be a atmosphere controller type thing. Got a nice cool view walkway. Always good in my book. Another med type station. I mean, this is a medical ship, so that's to be expected. There's going to be a lot of medical areas. Med station. I guess this is like... Oh, I was going to say it's quarantine or something, but I guess not. Another... So it's probably module control. I'm guessing is what all these are for. It's probably so that... I got stuck. It's probably so that you're not really looking at all the control systems, you're only seeing what you need to, but then for the maintenance crew and the flight crew and stuff, you can actually go through and maintain everything. And this is a really cool... I'm guessing this is like the operating bay. Rotor 3X toggle on, toggle off, lights... Spotlight. Ooh, that's creepy. Lights. Did I turn that on? Maybe because the spotlight's on? Unless that's external. I don't know. Doesn't seem to be turning anything on. What happens if we turn the rotor on? Oh, it spins a little bit. That's cool. I'm wondering if it's supposed to be doing any more than that. Is this a speed up button? Doesn't seem to be. But yeah, that's a really cool... That would creep me out, though. I gotta admit. You know. It's like... I don't want to be here. And then you got cryo chambers here. I'm guessing this is another maintenance control area. Looks that way. There's a reactor there that's connected to the conveyor system by the looks of things. Oh, there's the control panel. Okay. I was looking for the flight seat. Like, there's been one. Where'd the other one go? So that's a really cool, like, operating room kind of thing. Then we've got the cryo chambers out here for long-term storage for flights. Cargo containers and a bunch of stuff. So overall, I do like this ship. I mean, it is primarily a medical ship, so if you were looking for a explorer or a survival or a combat ship or something, probably wouldn't work for you. But design-wise, like having a... I'm assuming this is an operating room. You know, this is a really cool room. I love all the glass that makes it very... both sterile for medical and science type ships, but also very futuristic and open and stuff like that. And I really love the exterior view of having a lot of modular, like all of these rooms are kind of a little bubble type of thing. I really like that that look and stuff. I find that very interesting. And I do love the crescent design on the front. I really do like that. That crescent shape thing is pretty awesome. Oh, we didn't look at the bridge. I ran all the way out of the ship and never looked at the bridge. Dummy me. Let's fix that. Okay, so whoop. We go down first and then we go up this way. Oh, that's the beacon. Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Oh, you're supposed to go that way. I see it now. Okay, so you're supposed to go this way. Does this go anywhere? No. So here's the beacon. And this leads... Ah, here we are. So this leads up into the bridge area. So there's one there. And then one seat here. I don't know what the difference is. This actually seems to be the primary seat. So we've got jump drive control, a couple of turrets to turn on and off, the ion medium thrusters, it looks like, the hangars for shuttles and whatnot, and that looks to be about it. So let's give her a test flight real quick. Acceleration and stuff's pretty good, and control, again, for a larger ship like this, it actually controls really well. So, yeah, I think that's going to do it for this one, so let's move on to the last one. Alrighty, so last but not least we have the Cornell, which is a very interesting ship just from the get-go, just by looking at it, because actually, if you read the description and everything, apparently it was designed with verticality in mind, in that most ships are designed horizontally to go, you know, they lift vertically and stuff, but they're designed to go from front to back. This one goes from top to bottom, which is a really interesting... It almost reminds me of a big version of Slave One from Star Wars, the Boba Fett ship. Because that one kind of did the same thing. It had like a flat mode, but then when it took off and actually started flying, it flew more in this kind of posture, which is kind of interesting. So, you know, that's kind of the whole point of the Inspiration series, is finding new and different and cool stuff. I'd like to explore the exterior a little bit before we dive into the interior. I do believe there's a landing gear section here that extends when landing. We probably won't be actually practicing any of that. I mean, like, actually doing it. I'll extend them to look at them and things, but since we're out here in space and I didn't load this into a planet world, don't really have anywhere to land. Which is okay in my book, because it actually describes the landing process as being one of those that you kind of have to be careful with. And it's one of those, it works, but it's a little tricky. So usually I tend to blow things up when they're a little tricky. So it's probably a good thing that we don't mess with that too much. But overall, I really like the idea of the ship design, of being vertical. As well as the interior looked pretty cool from what I could see in the screenshots. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the interior. Open hangar doors, close hangar doors, LB spotlight, and Gamma 1 connector. I don't know what all that means. Oh, hi. Oh, okay, there's this small hangar off the back. I was like, how did these ships get in here? But there's a hangar off the back of the head, if you will. So we've got some screen readouts here, telling us what's going on. We got looks like a little grinder drone, and that's a welder drone. And then we got a couple little fighters for defense, I'm assuming. Well, I don't know. Actually, now that I'm looking at them, I don't really see any armaments on them, so they may just be for exploring. The ship itself, I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of the ship was designed for. Wait, how do I get anywhere? I do think it said something about you needed to use your jetpack more than intended, but in space it said the gravity was supposed to work. Oh, or I could just use the door. Leave me alone. Oh, no, that's interesting. Oh, LCD screen. I was like, how did they get that in a vanilla build? It's an LCD trick. Very nice. Open landing bay. Oh, closed landing bay. Med scanner. What? Room lights. A lot of these light. Oh, there they go. Room lights. Med scanner. What is that? I don't see anything. Oh, is this it? Med scanner? Let's try and turn it off now. Yep. Well, that's cool. Alright. So we can go up to the bridge, or we can go down. Oh, this was the part, in planets, because of the new gravity system, artificial gravity won't work in planets. So the gravity walkways here are not functional, or at least they don't function correctly, because at this point we're actually vertical, I believe. We're walking down the spine of the ship. Yeah, there we go. So that's kind of cool. Bridge, quarters, and hangar. This just kind of drops off, though. Where's the... So this is the... I mean, there's supposed to be a ladder here, which makes sense, but... the description was kind of thorough in that kind of stuff. It talked about how originally it was intended to use certain walkway tricks and stuff like that, but eventually it just ended up becoming one of those problems that's too big of a problem to deal with sometimes. Deck 2 reactor batteries. Oh, and then we switch up this way. That's cool. This could be... It would be very easy for this to become a disorienting ship, in my opinion. Like, it's cool. I like it. I just mean it'd be really easy to be like, wait, which way am I facing now? Oh, that's cool. I really like that. I like that. The green bars there is a nice touch. So that's all lights and controls and everything for that stuff. Deck 3, oxygen generators and thrusters. Bridge straight up. So I'm guessing that's that way. Ah, here's the transition point. I was like, where do we go for the other decks? Okay. Now where are we now? Oop. Okay, we overlap there. Ship access, got some more readout panels, have a view. Actually, this must not be a pressurized area, because there was an airlock back there, and this is just a window, which I don't think seals anything. I could be wrong, but... Ooh, what is all this? Boarding ramp. I saw something about boarding ramp there. Oops. Boarding ramp. Ah, gravity assist. So open that, open that. Come down here. Ooh, so this is the landing gear that I was talking about before. Alright, what do we got here? Access ramp, timer block, open. Whoop, what? What happened? Oh, is it the sensor? Oh, okay. I was not expecting that. Okay. So that would be the boarding ramp from the ground when you land. I was actually looking for the ramp control, or the landing gear controls. Actually, let's retract that. Will that work? Yes. Alright, cool. Landing gear. I don't see any... They must be up here then. Because I don't see any controls for down there. Gravity generators, landing gears, inner doors, deck 1 spotlight. Ah, here we go. This is probably what I'm looking for. Access ramp safety lock, access ramp down and up. Okay, where are LG doors rotor, open and close, gears rotor, gears up and down. Okay, so I may have to unlock these. There we go. So that opens those up, which is pretty cool. I'm trying to get a better view of them. Okay. And now, if we unlock the rotors and we rotate the gears out... Ooh, that's really cool, actually. That's a really neat system there. I like it. That's pretty sweet. Alright, let's get a better view. And then that would be the actual ramp. That's pretty cool, though. I really like that. I wasn't sure how this actually worked, but I really like that. I'm so glad. It's either the devs fixing things or the builders are getting better at building things, or both. But I'm very glad that we've had instances where we can use rotors and pistons and everything doesn't just completely fall apart. It's a wonderful feeling. But yeah, that's a really cool, like, compact kind of system. Like, it folds back up into itself, which is really cool. And then the doors shut. That's awesome. I really like that. Because in terms of profile, you could have this on a larger ship that was this tall. And it wouldn't be that big of a deal to have it there. Maintenance access. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where all the gravity walkways are and everything. Is there one going up this way? Kind of. So this is maintenance then, I guess. Oh, where's this from? Where did this come from? Oh, this is so you can maintain the rotors. Okay. It's not actually an access point. Alright. Spotlights, hydrogen tank. Sweet. Alright. Cool. So yeah, this is all your maintenance area, it looks like. What goes further up, though? Is this all maintenance? Possibly. Maybe. Hydrogen tank, ore detector, beacon, antenna. So it's kind of looking like this is all the maintenance area, which is fine. Oh, wait, what goes down here? Did I go down this way? No, I did not. Another maintenance area, I guess, for the gyroscope type stuff. Alright, where's this say? Ship access. So this is the main corridor. Ah, and then we're back here. Alright, cool. You can go this way for that, or you can go this way. It says deck 3 oxygen generators and thrusters. But there's no... I don't see an access point on this side. Eh, whatever. Oh, jump drive goes this way. Ooh, that was confusing. Wait, how does that work? Oh, it's a rotation thing. Oh, so that's probably what this is then. Yep. Okay, so this is what they were talking about with the oxygen generators and thrusters. Okay, so here's... Oh, well, that's cool. I didn't even think about going sideways like that. That's pretty neat. And this is the cookie room. Do not enter ship or enter while ship is in motion. Yeah, because it would fry you to death, which would be kind of hilarious, actually. It's like, what happened to Jimmy? I walked into the thruster room. Well, that's not a big deal while we were moving. Oh. So, yeah. That's a pretty cool ship. I really like it. It's very different and very unique. I like it a lot. Landing bay. Where is the bridge, though? Ah! Here we go. That's the one part I hadn't seen yet. And actually, it was the one part I was most excited about, because in the screenshot I saw this kind of stuff, where I love these tables and screen panels and all this kind of crap. It just excites me. It's really cool. And then we've got, looks like a bunk back there just for taking a break for the crew, I guess. And this is, oh, okay, so this is how you get up here. And then this leads back over here, I'm guessing. Yeah, that leads outside. So this could be like your main bridge access entrance if you wanted it to be. Oh, there's more. This ship's just full of surprises. Crew quarters, timer blocks, programmable blocks. So this is like the server room type thing, which is cool. That's pretty awesome. And then crew quarters is here. Space Engineers News. So that's pretty cool. I really like that. Ooh, sorry if I'm making anybody dizzy. It's actually pretty well designed too, like having the crew quarters really close to the bridge so that you can kind of jump in on the fly. Whoa, wrong thing. All right. So yeah, we got thruster rotate. Ooh, the thrusters can rotate. Thruster script programmable blocks. Ooh, I am going to make a mess of this. Thruster script. Ship's running lights, search lights, landing gear down. Okay, we already messed with the landing gear, so we probably won't. Jump drives, gyroscopes, antennas, ore detectors, landing ramps and everything we're going to leave alone. Doors and stuff we'll leave alone. So this actually has a lot of stuff that you can mess around with. All the lighting, gravity generators, color change. What? That's cool. Auto LCD. So we're only going to pay attention to this one real quick. First things first, we're going to test out speed and stuff. Which, wow, it accelerates really quick. Decelerating makes sense. They don't have as many thrusters pointed the other way, so that's something you'd have to be mindful of. But turning and everything, I mean, man, this thing moves really good. Rotation is a little on the sluggish side, but side to side is really nice. Now I want to see what this rotate thing is. This is probably going to be the last thing we're going to do because I'll probably blow something up. Oh, it's got a VTOL. Oh, that's sweet. That is really cool. So I don't know if it actually has any other... Well, yeah, of course it has other thrusters, because when we were in the thruster room, we joked about you could get cooked. So it has other ones, but those are your primary. That's really sweet. I love it. This is a really cool ship. Alright, so I think that's going to do it for us for this episode. We're going to wrap things up here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.